I did my first stand-up set on March 6, 2025. In this video, I'm gonna take you from that moment until the day, March 6, 2026, detailing my first year in, what I've learned, and how I've grown in both writing and performance. I'm not gonna play the entire set, but this is from my first set ever. We will revisit this joke when I perform it almost a year later to see how it's grown. I've been going to a lot of shows lately, a lot of comedy shows. They've been, sold out, going to see like national headliners and shit. And the worst thing about being in the packed show was like having to go to the bathroom at the same time as everybody else. You in the bathroom waiting for a, empty urinal and you gotta wait for the sink. And I know I'm not like obviously gay, but in my head, I'm like, they all know I'm gay and they think I'm in here looking at dicks. I would never do that, first off. I'm too shy for that. And second off, I like fat dudes, so you pretty much gotta do this to see a soft dick under her. This was the only video I got for a while, and according to my voice memos app, I didn't start recording audio till June. So that's a good 3 months. But I wasn't going every week when I first started, so whatever. But this was a music open mic. It's mixed, like they allow whatever, but it was mainly musicians. It was me as the only comedian, and then there was a magician. But yeah, this was a music open mic, so that's why the cable was wrapped around a mic stand, because most people weren't holding it. They were playing guitar and shit. This is the only time I ever performed like this. I do move around a decent amount on stage now. After this set, I went looking for comedy-specific open mics. I found one, and I hit that up the following week. It was a 5-minute open mic. I did my same jokes, you know what I'm saying? Got similar reception, got a few laughs, nothing crazy, but it was cool. And yeah, found another mic after that was new material only. It was on Mondays. The previous mic I was going to was on Tuesdays. And this one was 3-minute sets, new material. Best set or best joke of the night wins $50. And I ended up actually winning my first time going. Did those same 3 jokes I had. I might have tried a new one in there, I don't remember. But I just did the same shit I had really, and I did win that first night. Kept hitting that mic, kept hitting my Tuesday mic, and yeah, like I was getting good reception. I'm probably like a month and a half, 2 months in at this point. Tried a few new jokes, and things are going fairly well, but I knew I had to do it. The feeling I had been avoiding, I had to go just grab it. Bombing. I kind of purposely bombed the next time I went up. I've been writing for decades, mainly music, but I know enough to know my strengths and weaknesses in whatever I'm writing. And with comedy, my biggest weakness was storytelling. So I went up with a story and I knew it would bomb. Not because it's not a good story, but it just wasn't, presented well for comedy. And it had an act out and everything at the end. It fell flat, like pure silence. And yeah, nothing hit like pure silence after you done sat up there for 5 minutes. It was probably like 3 minutes, the actual joke itself. Like 3 minutes of pure silence with an act out at the end. The act out is like negative icing on the cake, I guess. Like it's already bad just from words, but when you do an act out and then bomb, it's like, damn, I feel stupid. Like them improv people can do it and bomb and they don't care because that's them. But like when you're not used to doing that and you act out something, like it ain't like I'm just like the coolest nigga on earth, but like acting out some shit in public is like hard to do, like just to will yourself to do it. And then if it's not funny, like oh, that silence was torture, bro. But that night kind of shaped my identity as a comic for the foreseeable future. I kept hitting mics and eventually things started to click, you know what I'm saying? I realized a lot of it is just revision. If you ever been in an argument or discussion and couldn't think of what to say, or you said something lame in the moment, then you replay that later and you try to think of things you could have said better or done better in the moment, that's stand-up comedy pretty much. Like it's just a bunch of revising shit after you done said it. I learned a lot about that kind of before I even started. listening to different podcasts like We Might Be Drunk or Tuesdays with Stories. Mark Norman, Sam Morrill, and Joe List drop a lot of gems just about how things work in the scene, how jokes can go from silence to killing, how bombing is something you deal with at any level for your entire career, hobbyist, whatever level you on, you're gonna be fucking bombing. It's just part of the game. And I've seen dudes bomb like just at mics or just shows, whatever. Like you see dudes bomb and be so comfortable in the bomb. Like I'm jealous. Like I want to get to that level. Like I don't want to bomb, but I want to be that comfortable when I am bombing. Like they just be chilling up there like it don't even affect them. The fact like they hearing laughs in their head or something and they just rolling with it. I don't know what it is, but that shit is tough. And like you gotta be confident on stage. Even if you got like self-deprecating humor, there's a way to present it confidently. Body language is important. You also need to project your voice to make sure you're being heard. I struggled with that early on. I'm about to actually insert a clip from my first paid show where like right when I started, this lady was like, "We can't hear you." Like,
thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here.
But yeah, getting to know your scene is fun. Figuring out where everybody fits in. You got the killers, the comics everybody get hyped for when they go up. Them the people you see be like, damn, will I ever be even like half that good? Like yeah. Then you got like the quiet killers. They don't get the fanfare, but people still know they good and respect their ability. It's just cool to see the different dynamics. You got middle of the road guys who it's just hit or miss week to week, mic to mic. But they always out there, they always got something new, they always working something. That's how you get better. But it's also dope when people like get familiar with you and your material. Like when you first show up, nobody's gonna say shit to you except the host. Like nobody else is gonna even acknowledge your existence. But it's not like some cliquey shit or that. Like a bunch of people just show up once and never show up again, or show up twice, never show up again. Or be on some bullshit, just some crazy weirdos. So like you get it after a while. But yeah, you keep showing up. Say after about a month, you might start getting some fist bumps after sets. People start chopping it up with you and shit. It's real communal though. It's like church for people who like too inappropriate for the rest of society. But yeah, I got to the point where I was doing about 3 mics a week at most. Just due to my job schedule, I get up for work at 4 a.m. so I can't be out super late. I go to bed at 10 pretty much. Yeah, doing about 3 mics a week, and it felt great to get all those reps in. I ended up getting booked for my first paid gig mid-June. It was for a show in July, but I got booked in June. $20, but getting a 10-minute, paid feature set a little under 4 months in felt great. I was on the flyer as a stand-up comic with people who had been at it for years. Shout out to Tom McDonough for the opportunity. That was dope. And before that show came around, I had planned a trip to Austin with my podcast co-host. We were going to Kill Tony for the recording episode 729. And being with other people and not familiar with the scene at all, I ended up only hitting 1 mic while I was down there, the Sunset Strip. But yeah, that was a fun trip. Dope to see Kill Tony live in person. That was actually the episode where Timmy No Breaks got his golden ticket. Yeah, I ain't really had 10 minutes yet, so I spent some time, writing and prepping for the show, trying to get as much material as I could gathered up. Got a set list together. After coming home, I hit a couple mics to practice my set in halves pretty much, because you only get about 5 minutes max at most mics. The day of the show, I was a ball of nerves. I think I had 3 beers before I went on. And I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier, but the show was in Avon Lake. And if you're from the Ohio area, or Northeast Ohio area, that's like a really that's you just say affluent, middle-aged white people area. Yeah, that's just like the best way to put it. Elder millennials, I guess. But my set ended up being like half bomb, half chuckles. Just like a lot of my references they wasn't gonna get. I had a Lil Boosie impression. I had a Lil Boosie as Steve Urkel on Vlad TV impression. Like that's very specific. Like you gotta like be into hip hop a little bit.
Blackhead. They lying on me, Blackhead. Talking about I'm trans. I ain't no damn trans, Blackhead. That's when you go from a nigga to a bitch. I went from a nigga to another nigga, Blackhead.
But yeah, they ain't really get that. My delivery was trash because, you know, I'm new, nervous. Confidence was garbage, none whatsoever. And I got the set recorded. You can see it all on camera. But it was another milestone down, more experience, more practice, just more. More was all I really wanted. But at the same time, my 40-year-old body was screaming at me due to lack of sleep. Like I said, for work, my bedtime 10 p.m. When I hit mics, I'm probably not getting to bed till midnight. Mike's probably over like 10 at the latest. Get home around 10:30, but you can't just go straight to sleep because you was just on stage, you going over your set in your head, and just, yeah, your brain is not ready for bed. Yeah, that started catching up with me, 4 hours of sleep, multiple days a week. It just add up, and I burnt out a couple weeks later. I go up tomorrow, turned into I go next week, turned into I go next month. I ended up taking from like the middle of August to the week of Christmas off. The want never left, but my body was just tired. I stayed writing though, and I came back, I feel like noticeably better. I wasn't intimidated by the stage anymore. And I had started going to like a different Tuesday mic before I left, or before I stopped going. When I came back, that mic was not there, like nobody was there. I showed up on Tuesday. I checked Instagram and they had canceled that mic apparently, but a competition was coming. A comedy competition was coming. $500 grand prize hosted by Bill Squire to take place at Brothers Lounge. So I emailed to enter. I was set to compete on January 27th. Polish new jokes, practice old ones. It was 5-minute sets, judges voting to advance the best 2 from each night. And it was 4 initial nights. I think it was like 9 to 11 contestants per week. Then there was a recovery round in the 5th week for people who were close to advancing but didn't. And then some like late entries to the contest in general. The finals were the 6th week, took place on February 10th. I didn't get video of my first round, but here's a little audio. When British people move here, are they really immigrants? Or are they just late? I ended up advancing to the finals. I worked on some other jokes for my final set, both old and new again. And there's some killers in the finals, so I was extremely nervous over the next couple of weeks. I got my set down, got it memorized, had a couple beers before I hit the stage. And I did pretty damn well, if I may say so myself. Here's a little bit of that set. I've been going out to a lot of shows and stuff, packed places. I hate going to sold out shows. These places always get the smallest bathrooms. I hate waiting in line in the bathroom. I know I'm not obviously gay, but I feel like everybody in there knows I'm gay, and they think I'm looking at dicks. I wouldn't do that. Too shy for that. Plus I'm in the fat dudes, and you pretty much gotta do this to see the soft dick under her belly. Nah, if I'm gonna look at something in public, it's gonna be calves. I like calves a lot. Calf muscles is like the ass of the lower leg. And you know it's big, but you can see that thing from the front. I didn't win or get second place, but I'd say I was third based on the crowd reaction during sets. I want to say congrats to the winner, Crystal Joy, and second place, Steve Mir, something like that. Both very funny though. I got a crazy amount of love from other comics after my set. That was dope. And I got some love from one of the judges after the show ended. All in all, it's been an amazing experience so far. I made music for 25 years and I love that. But this is so different, bro. It's just you on the stage, left to figure it all out for yourself. But the payoff is like the most rewarding thing I ever felt in my life. Comedy is my new drug of choice. Check out the Riff Stop. That's a podcast I do with a couple of my homies. I dropped the link in the description for that. Saw laughs over there. We just talk about, you know, current events and our lives and stuff and try to make it as funny as possible. Shout out to the Cleveland comedy scene and thank you to those who host mics and, you know, book these shows. So yeah, it's my first year doing stand-up in a nutshell. Next, I plan to take an improv class. Kind of want to get into that. I feel like it'll just make me a little more loose on stage. My whole thing right now is just to be more in the moment. Like I haven't even attempted crowd work yet, because I need to just get better at being in the moment, flowing more loosely. But yeah, just need to get more stage time and do more writing, and yeah, just do it all. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you got any questions or want to see anything else. Peace.